we're doing something slightly different. Me and Joshua in old podcasts would highlight some short films.
We did.
We're circling back.
Back in the day, really back in our crouton days.
Well, croutons of the podcast. And so we're circling back, and we are going to be highlighting a incredible short film, an indie short film. And it's called Dynamo.
We had a conversation about this.
We were calling it Dynamo.
Mr.
And then I was
Dynamo
like,
Dream.
Dynamo.
It's called Dynamo Dream.
Mr. Guillermo.
Mr. Guillermo.
Mr. Guillermo.
Look.
Mr. Guillermo.
Guillermo.
It's Guillermo.
Guillermo del Toro.
I'm not talking about that.
No.
We're not talking about
No, we're not. We're talking about...
No, I got my butt roasted the other day. All right.
Mackenzie.
So that turned me off to that whole argument.
Kenzie got my back.
She did. She destroyed me.
You can't have that weak of spirit.
No.
You got
it killed me inside, but it also killed me. I was laughing. It was hilarious.
Not have an inside joke for people who are listening.
I mean, I'm just saying.
We're talking about an inside joke.
I got my ass roasted. What you talking about?
Okay.
Yeah.
Kenzie roasted.
Kenzie got him good.
Me. She roasted me.
So we're going to take a look at, we're going to give our review thoughts. We're going to talk about it some. We also have a clip, a side-by-side of how it was created. First off, we should acknowledge the nature of why this is so captivating.
Mm-hmm.
So do any of you guys want to pick it up, try to explain what went on during the creation of this short film?
Ooh.
I mean, a lot of things.
So it's a sci-fi.
It is a sci-fi.
It's a sci-fi. It's in a crazy, crazy world that is super dynamic. It focuses on this one woman. And basically she tries to sell things. She tries to live in this world. She sells salads.
Futuristic.
Yeah, it's futuristic. It's very cluttered.
Yeah.
Very cluttered, very technologically forward, but kind of like that Tatooine Star Wars.
Yeah,
vibe.
I think Tatooine mixed with Coruscant.
Yeah.
Did we explain? So let's take one step back, like half a step. This is a little bit older of a film. When did this come out exactly? Do you have dates for?
I believe it came out about 8 months ago.
About 8 months ago.
It's a little bit older. It's not like didn't come out like last week,
right?
Yeah.
But it's, I think, worth talking about because we never talked about it on the podcast.
Yes, and it's when it comes to short films, especially indie films, they take a while. Like they don't release like a Hollywood film. So sometimes people aren't seeing it till a year or 2 or 3 years after, and it's a slow burn on a lot of indie films, especially if they take off.
I mean, if you got your pulse, if you got your finger on the pulse of, like the editing, like visual effects world, like myself, you find this stuff like a week after it's
or like maybe your name, your YouTube name is Indie Film Hustle.
Yeah.
Well, I found
Alex Ferrari's on top of it.
I found this from watching Corridor Crew, their visual effects, the VFX artists react.
Yeah.
And they were talking about this guy, and I was like, oh man.
What was it, like a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon or even a Sunday? I don't even know. It was a weekend.
It was a day.
We weren't doing anything. We're sitting on the couch doing our thing. And Wyatt's like, Josh, I'm gonna turn this on. You're gonna watch it right quick. Turned it on. I didn't know what I was about to watch, but it was pleasant.
So when you look at these slides, you're thinking, oh, this is like pretty elaborate sets. You know, this is well crafted. I'm sure there's a lot of visual effects adding to the surrounding area. That's an understatement.
Yeah.
It's an understatement of the century,
right?
Essentially. This is not high production. Well, this is not like sets that have a lot of visual effects to enhance it. The whole thing.
The entire thing's visual.
The entire thing.
Yeah.
And just to prove the point, let's go ahead and watch this clip. The creator, what was his name? I forgot his name.
Ian Hubert Hubbard?
Ian Hubert
Huber.
Okay. So he's been working on this for years using the animation software Blender. He put up a video before he released the whole thing of a side-by-side of how he filmed it compared to what the end result after the visual effects is. So let's just watch this and talk through it. At the top, we got green screen.
It's all green screen. But then look, that's what he's filming, and he's overlaying it down here into this window.
I mean, you can see green, but
that's
but there's movement and stuff happening over on the left side.
Oh my gosh.
Look at these fans spinning.
All of this, everything.
So when they're on the green screen, they're not even close to each other. He's comping them in close to each other. This is a different scene.
Oh my gosh.
Look how tight everything is. Look at all the little, like, there's rust. Okay. There's rust on that panel.
We gotta pause. We're not Joshua, you're just going like this. Are you not about to poop yourself?
No, I did that before the podcast.
Shelby's.
Wait, what?
No Shelby's.
No Shelby's. That's gonna be a good call in for later.
No Shelby's.
No Shelby's. This is incredible.
Look at whatever this palette is. It's got words on it, farm and something.
Everything is crafted by this guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep watching.
He has to go in and put details on all these little pieces of metal. Like, there's reflections,
signs.
There's reflections on the metal. There's
what about
scratches?
That person in the window in the background?
Fake.
Everything is fake except her.
So look, this guy's real.
Wait.
So you're not seeing him in here, but he's okay. So you saw his hand and his arm.
Yeah.
Once it got out onto that green screen. This is insane.
Ooh, the robot games. Is this from Spy Kids?
I don't. It's a mech suit.
There's menus over there.
Yeah, I want to see what they're eating in the future.
Casanova is that restaurant.
Oh, this is crazy. Look at how this is done by one dude.
If you actually listen to the dialogue, you have to actually find an isolated clip. Mm-hmm. The dialogue is hilarious of that crab grabbing the mech dude's arm. Awesome.
This is wild.
Look, she just turns. Slowly.
And the thing is, he's creating the world.
How is she turning like that? Is she on a platform?
No, she's just turning her feet.
No, he's turning the camera in the software like it's a camera, and she's just like standing there.
Oh, she's doing that. I thought she was standing on a platform, and he was moving her underneath the camera, maybe.
Dynamo Dream.
Yeah. So this is like a side story to something Ian has worked on before called Dynamo.
Ian, my boy.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen the original like Dynamo series. There's multiple episodes of that.
It'd be cool to get him on the podcast, maybe. Oof. I don't know if that's possible.
I mean, anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
You can do anything.
But look, this man single-handedly has put anything that's come out. Her
performance was good.
Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Her performance is great. Yeah. It's fine. It's just fine. I believe, is that his girlfriend?
Yeah, that's his girlfriend.
His girlfriend in their house setting up green
It kind of looked like, I mean, it was just a room.
So the two things.
I believe it was like a small area.
Yeah, a small studio or something.
Three things he had to be so calculated with and a genius at is, first, he had to have a vision for the composition.
What he was going to do, yeah.
So he made sure that the camera movement, the distance of the camera for shooting on the green screen was perfect. Mm-hmm. Then he had to have a perfect idea of how he wanted to design the lights. So he lit everything accordingly. And then on top of that, he needs to be a master of this software blender.
What I think he did is for the scenes that we see, he builds the set.
Yeah.
In Blender, he builds the set, and then he lights everything up, and then he's like, all right, so I've got my floating camera here over this fake world I've built. This is how I can zoom in and zoom out and keep any edges and stuff that aren't.
Yeah.
and get real good camera shots.
Yeah, you think so you're saying he builds it beforehand, you think?
Before he gets the camera shots. Yeah.
So he plans out his movement.
You think he puts it on a monitor and is like, okay, this is what we're seeing. I want you to be turning here.
It also probably helps for lighting because he can set up his lights, like his different colored. Like I noticed that when she went to sit down while she's waiting for the food, there's a red light on her face because there's a red motivated light off to the side of her in the animation.
Yeah.
I think he sets up specific light sources in his 3D world. And he's like, and then he probably writes down where they are and putting them into reality.
Absolutely.
when she's doing her acting, where he's gonna put those. He's like, all right, so here's our motivated lighting stuff. This needs to be in reality because this stuff is gonna be shining on her. And we don't want people to be like, oh, well, that's light isn't there.
And the cool thing about this, and now we've always talked about like The Mandalorian is incredible. How they filmed it.
Yeah.
The LED room, it's all filmed on a location. That's one place in a building. You can just film all day. It doesn't matter what weather you have outside.
And the lighting is on the character is going to be the exact lighting of the environment that they're supposed to be in.
Exactly.
So this is kind of like that, but it's not.
It's not like that, but it's almost like the Mandalorian way of doing things is a little better. But this is like if you don't have that technology, you do this.
This is like if the prequels had good animation.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine if the prequels looked half as good
like
as this.
Yeah.
Half as good. I was saying earlier, this man single-handedly in his house with his girlfriend, some lights and some sheets and his hand on a computer. His hands, fingers.
Well, now there's some other people involved.
Yes. I'm just saying single-handedly.
But when it says directed by, it says produced by, when it says filmed by, animated by, it's
sound effects by.
Yeah.
He's put all of Hollywood to shame for like the past 10 years. Because I've never seen anything, even the Avenger films or any Marvel thing, they use a lot of green and blue screens. And you look at their stuff, it's not as convincing as even this.
Just watching that clip made me like, why aren't we watching the rest of this? I'm seeing all this stuff and I'm like, I want to watch more. I remember that thing. I want to watch more.
The whole thing is 20 minutes, and we want you to go to his video after the podcast and watch it.
And tell him Wiseworks sent you.
Leave a comment and say, hey, Wiseworks podcast is talking about you.
Yeah.
You should check.
That'd be.
Yeah, for real.
Guys,
leave a comment and say, hey, we're here to enjoy your thing because Wiseworks podcast is talking about you.
We know there's like 6 or 7 of you, so like don't go over there and just spam him.
Spam him. Tell him you love his work. You're absolutely stunned by it because there's no way you can't be. And then tell him Wiseworks podcast let you know about him.
We want so much spam. We want to go to Hawaii.
Yeah. We're that into spam.
But the video's gonna be in the description, the link for the video.
Check them out.
Yeah. So what was the thing that I think that blew my mind the most was those wonky dynamic movements towards the end of this first part, where she's starting to go delusional.
That we didn't see.
We didn't see. It's at the end of the short, and everything's incredible, but it's. Because I also saw some pieces of the green screen used for that. It's the same thing. It's all green screen, and it's just her. So when she's hitting up against the wall and she's interacting and the camera's going in and out, everything around her, it's so convincing. But everything around her is fake. It's truly mind-boggling.
It's not fake because it's all here.
That's right.
I think what I enjoy about it most is... I guess what you would call microcosm storytelling.
Okay. Describe microcosm storytelling.
I don't get where you're going at with this.
So it's when in the smallest space possible, you are telling a story or multiple stories. And so when somebody walks into a room and there's like 3 screens down here and there's a little computer thing here and there's scratches on the computer and there's rust on the visor and one of the screens is half blacked out and cracked and there's rust on the wall and there's a cigarette butt on the ground and there's so many details in this tiny little room. It's all of this is all of that, and we got you get some of it in like What did we watch? The French Dispatch.
Yes, the French Dispatch.
Wes Anderson loves the microcosm.
Are you talking about
storytelling, where you take a tiny little something and you put something here and something here? And
so
something
it's almost like I have not really made up a word because it's not my word, but have a word for this, right? Like it like most things have patina, a little bit of patina.
Yes,
on screen.
Yes, and
you're building a fake patina. Yeah,
so yes and no. You can throw the patina on the micro world, or you can not have it. But you notice in Wes Anderson stuff, there's some little areas that are very clean and neat, and then there are some little areas that are dirty and they have that patina. But they're always this little microcosm, and they're always this tiny space of unique stuff, and you get a sense of what the character that lives in this space is like.
Yes,
tells a story.
It tells a story, and
without telling you the story.
And just this picture, there's so much going on. There's little things in the water. His lunchbox is, it's got patina on it. His backpack, his goggles. It
shows you it shows you how old looking this little docking area is.
Yeah, it's been here for a while.
Got all of these barnacles. Growths from the water.
Everything feels alive, even the stuff that's not alive.
It's a breathing city.
Yeah.
Just a quick game real quick. For the podcast, on our new intro, we do one of those little things. We put a little what did you call it? Microcosm storytelling.
Yeah.
We do one of those in the intro. Try to see it. Tell us if you found it.
I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's the only word I could think of.
Yeah.
Is the smallest possible space with the most possible story.
Yeah. It's like an Easter egg, but it's not alluding to anything you already know. It's saying this has a story behind it. We're just not telling you the story.
Yeah.
This has a person or something touched this. It's here for a reason. We're just not getting into it.
It's kind of like an actor that comes up with a character for a film. They have all these stories, like a backstory, and they think of like the life of the actor that they're about to play, and they're like, the actor grew up doing this and what they likes, dislikes, even if that's not in the film at all. They come up with these backstories to portray this character and get in the mindset of this character so much that they kind of have these micro things that aren't even on film, but they're in the back of their mind and they're playing the character like that.
Yeah.
And I love that for characters, and I love it for visuals too.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody gets the visuals right, I think it's part of I think it's one of the biggest issues that I have with the prequel Star Wars movies.
Okay.
Is that
you throwing shade over?
Yeah, well, always a little bit. There's not enough. Everything's too clean.
Yeah.
Everything's that nothing in the environment tells a story like the old Star Wars movie where everything was dirty. The Millennium Falcon, you go inside and there's grime on the corners, and that little living area, the leather on the couch is frayed around the edges, and there's stuff on the table and there's stuff in the corner. It's a real living, breathing ship, whereas you get into, I don't know, Queen Amidala's ship and it's silver.
Yeah.
And there's no dust.
And there's tons of people there. And there should be something. Maybe a contract somebody dropped on the floor.
Somebody give this ship some character.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's also kind of the difference between a little bit of what we saw in Wheel of Time mixed with comparing that to like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, or Lord of the Rings.
But let's call it Game of Thrones since that's also a series, that had a close to the same amount of budget thrown at it.
Yeah.
This guy never released like what his budget was for this, because even if it was just buying the green screen background and that's it,
and
or
some lights,
the software, like
did you look on IMDb?
I didn't. I was just.
I know. I pulled up IMDb earlier.
The only reason why I'm asking, because I looked it up because you brought this up specifically. Star Wars: The Phantom Menace had $115 million budget. I mean, paying actors and too, but
who were they really
115,
paying?
yeah.
Natalie Portman, Ewan McGregor. Who else was a big actor?
Mace
at the time?
Windu. What's
Samuel Jackson?
Samuel Jackson. Yeah.
Count Dooku.
What's his name? Christopher something? I always forget.
Christopher.
But this 115 million. Rather watch this than Star Wars.
Yeah, of course. This is so much more dynamic.
This
and
is
his
girlfriend
is more engaging of a character.
Watch this than Star Wars. Star Wars is fun.
No, look, his girlfriend is more of an engaging character than I would say any prequel Star Wars character. Of course, except for Jar Jar Binks. We all love him.
Yeah.
Found anything yet?
I'm looking to see if there's some info on how much he...
It might not be on there, man, because it would not surprise me if this man
spent $2,000.
No, cash flowed the whole thing because it took him time to make it. Just literally like, I need a light. I'm going to go buy it, you know? It would not surprise me.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything that says how much it costs.
It truly would not surprise me. And
I mean, he has the software. He's been working on like the original Dynamo series, for years. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure he has, studio. I'm sure he has a studio area and lights and green screen. So he's probably spending, not too much money on
the only thing he's spending is his time.
Time where he's sitting on his computer and he's like,
that is a lot though.
He's like looking at the screen.
Time is valuable.
And watching his 1 minute, what were they called? Quick
tutorial videos.
Quick tutorial videos. 1 minute
of how he's using Blender.
And he's just like, all right, so here's a wall. You want to make a wall in Blender, so you bring this in, and then you pull these out to sort of make crenellations on the wall, and then you pull these out here, and you adjust these, and you
do that by attaching this to this, and this.
You add this later. And he's like going into the software, and he's like, all you have to do is click this tab.
All you have to do, I have to find that tab first, sir.
And you're like, all right, I feel like I could follow this.
Yeah, but I need Blender first.
But I would need Blender.
Yeah.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you could just slow it down then.
Yeah.
Just slow it down.
Yeah.
First
you need to
lick this button.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up this review though.
Forgot what I was gonna. Oh, I'm sorry.
Spaghetti Western.
No, it was. I was heavily into drawing at the time, and when I found this, I was like, "Dang, I want to get into
Blender.
I want to get into Blender."
I'm pretty sure Blender is free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You need a good computer.
You do need a powerful computer.
Y'all won't believe I'd be making some crazy stuff.
It shows you the true power of modern technology if you put in the elbow grease and you have the creative mind to see it before it's done.
Yeah. Fun fact: we sell elbow grease at Lowe's. So if
I have gotten 18 spam calls today. Sorry. Yeah.
That we sell. You messed up my joke. I can't go back and say it again. I was gonna say we sell elbow grease at Lowe's for $5.99, $4.99.
You trying to get people to go to Lowe's?
No, I'm just
elbow grease.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
What y'all selling? Blinker fluid?
We do. Yeah.
Blinker fluid.
Get a little bit of mirror grease.
Check out after the podcast, the link in the description, or after this video if you're watching just the clip, and watch and just enjoy the crap out of this short film. Then go to this channel that the video's on and watch his tutorials. You'll be blown away. I promise.
It's fun.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you aren't aware, this was taken from a full podcast episode. So if you enjoyed the conversation, if you had a great time listening to us, you can check out the whole episode. It was a good time recording it, so I'm sure if you enjoyed this, you'd have a great time listening to the long-form content. Just go check out Wiseworks Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, a lot of different places. Just go check it out, and thanks for watching.